All right, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? I'm not using my green screen today, but I'll have that set up next time. How's everybody doing? I think I finally turned on video on demand. Let me go verify. Store past broadcast. Done. All right. Now, let's see. I got my tweet up, going live in 5. Got a retweet from Bamboo. All right, let's take a look at this newsletter, huh? The advertisement stuff on Twitch is a little bit frustrating, don't you think? Used to be, I think if you were a Prime member, you'd have no ads, and now it's pretty much everyone's got ads. You guys hear me okay today? Just checking mic check. So I got some tunes playing, but they don't appear to be going through my speakers today. I see why. All right, hold on just a sec. I'm gonna clean up my sound. Let's go with the headset. My mic, I can hear it in the ears. Got it. Check. All right. Let's go. Let me pull up the weekly newsletter roundup here. Let's take a look and see what this news is all about. How's everybody doing today? Hey, Kendra, what's up? Turn down the music. Got it. Thanks. All right, is that music lower for you now? Perfecto. All right, everybody. So every Friday, if you don't know already, Bamboo puts out the SharePoint Weekly Roundup. Bamboo Solutions, that is. And it's, I don't know, everywhere I go, and a lot of the people that I talk to that are in the SharePoint community have sent us emails or mentioned at conferences that this newsletter is super beneficial to those that are in the SharePoint space. It's got all kinds of content from across the web, and just sort of filters out all the fluff and brings in everything SharePoint specific. So I just thought it might be kind of cool to walk through this every Friday when we release it with a team. So I'm gonna turn down the music in my head real quick. A little bit too loud for me. So I'll probably have to turn it back up a little here. All right, you guys let me know. I'm still trying to find the right levels for volume and mic and stuff like that. So if sounds a little odd to you or drowned out, let me know, okay? All right. So yeah, Maddie D, thanks for throwing together that Nightbot so that you can, I think we have a Nightbot for subscribing to the newsletter. Is that right? Needs to go lower. Yeah, I guess you can't really turn the music down in your head, can you? I guess they make drugs for that. All right. So just going to go down the list. So we got some top news stories here. I'm going to go through them one by one, at least for a few of them, until we get till we kind of go on too long, and this is just a little bit too much information. So let's just kind of go through it and see what we got. So top news story here. We got, what are the upgrade options for SharePoint Server users? And this is from Redmond Mag, I believe. Let's see what's going on in there. Let's continue on. Let's see. Expert and consultant offer some thoughts for organizations contemplating impending SharePoint Server moves. So Microsoft gave notice this month that SharePoint Server 2010 has but 2 years of product support remaining, with the server reaching end of extended support on October 13th, 2020. Yeah, we're doing a lot of migrations right now with the Bamboo customers. So we are ending support for our products. So come talk to us though if this is you and you fall into this category. But our product support for 2010 will end in January, and it's we understand there are existing implementations that live in that 2010 world still and will be for some time. So just give us a call if that's you and you have questions about that. Thanks, Maddie, for sharing that roundup. If you guys don't know, Nightbot configured in our chat, you can do things with like a bang or an exclamation point and a keyword like roundup. All right, let's see what else it says. The notice by Bill Mayer, Senior Product Marketing Manager at Microsoft, also explained that the underlying Windows Server supporting Server 2010 will be reaching their end-of-life dates around that time. End of support means that no more security patches will arrive, if you didn't know. Let's see. Pushing a little bit of the cloud there. Let's move to the cloud. No in-place upgrades of SharePoint Server where the underlying bits get upgraded to the latest version. In-place upgrades from Windows Server 2016 to Windows Server 2019 are possible. However, getting to SharePoint Server 2019 is more of a multi-stage process. Yeah, so again, just kind of hitting on, I think, the stuff that us in the SharePoint community have been reading about for quite some time, that whole migration path. If you got questions, hit us up, though. sales@bamboosolutions.com on that. We can help you answer those. Do organizations using SharePoint Server products and under compulsion to upgrade use the in-place upgrade process, or is wipe and replace the preferred method? SharePoint Server does not have an in-place upgrades process in the traditional sense. When you want to upgrade a SharePoint farm, let's say from the SharePoint 2013 to 2016, you first need to create brand new virtual machines. Install SharePoint 2016, then migrate the content database to the new farm. Okay. Yep. How much time is required? Boy, isn't that an open-ended question? Everyone's different, right? That's definitely something our experience has taught us. How would one move from 2010 since it is approaching that end of life? There's been many scenarios for this, but in this case, let's see. We'd need to create a 2013 farm, a 2016 farm, and the 2019 farm. The middle ones, 2013 and 16, can be one server farms. They don't have to be powerful. The admin would then have to migrate the database from 2010 to 2013 to 2016 to 2019. Oof, that ain't happened in one day. In order to migrate from SharePoint 2010 to SharePoint 2019. At this point, most organizations needing to skip 1 to 2 versions would probably buy a migration tool and use that to migrate their content directly. Yep. And that's typically what we end up doing when we support customers in their migration process, but not always. And there are lots of tools out there for doing that. You just do a nice Google search for SharePoint migration tools. You'll find a good selection there. Let's see. All right, so what are the options is what we're talking about for migrating SharePoint since end of life for 2010 is coming up in 2 years, extended support anyways. SharePoint migration tool, they're talking about a little bit. How viable is it for organizations using SharePoint Server to shift to using the modern user interface? It's a good question. A lot of people have that question. 2019 still supports classic sites, if you didn't know. and development methods if an organization wants to migrate quickly to SharePoint 2019. However, in order to go to modern SharePoint, it is correct that they would have to migrate their content and customizations to modern SharePoint sites. Developers would have to learn and adapt their code to SharePoint framework, and this is, however, a good thing, as it will make it easier for the organization to move their customizations in the cloud in the future, and should make the next migrations, even for on-premise, a lot safer or easier. Interesting. Right. In SharePoint 2019, a compelling upgrade. Is it a compelling upgrade prospect? It lacks the hub site's modern interface, right? Are there any other notable or absent aspects to note? Good question. I think the SharePoint 2016 was a solid version of SharePoint, but mostly for the IT pro, and it lacked end-user features. With a solid foundation built in 2016, 2019 was able to add features for the business user, such as modern team and communication sites, conditional list formatting, SharePoint Home, OneDrive for Business with the next-gen sync client, and so on. So there's some of the benefits you get in 2019 for the on-prem version. Yeah. I think we will see a bigger push by business users to get on SharePoint 2019 sooner so they can benefit from those modern features that they're seeing in Office 365. I find that to be true too. How about you guys in chat? Are y'all seeing that? People are really pushing for 2019 because they see the things that are rolling out to 365 version. The whole modern stack is not there yet. Keynote. Hub sites, site designs are still missing. Huh, that's a pretty handy article. I like that. Good info there. Now let's go to the next one. Here we are, SharePoint Weekly Roundup, article number 2. How to set up SharePoint Online in 9 steps. All right. The next guy is going to write about how to do it in 4 steps. Scroll down to continue. Don't you love those? Not in federal space yet. Yeah, that's true. It is very true. They're probably not. Well, I don't know. There's some federal customers that we've supported, right, that are on the 365 for Gov. But even that is rolled out at a slower pace. That's true. All right, how to set up SharePoint Online in 9 steps. Let's get straight to the point here. Step 1, use SharePoint as a project management tool. So you get a nice PM site template that enables users to create intranet pages that help maintain activities and schedules and documents associated with specific projects. Okay? With the introduction of Microsoft Planner, which many consider to be a mini project management tool, organizations now have an alternative to the classic SharePoint project templates. That's true. All right, that's step 1. Use it as a project management tool. Step 2, use SharePoint as a gateway to other services. Office 365 now has a number of new apps. Some with overlapping capabilities are those that SharePoint has traditionally offered. While some new apps compete with SharePoint head-on, the platform itself still powers most of the file sharing, storage, and management behind the scenes. SharePoint may no longer be the go-to for everything, but it is still a gateway to all other services that users need. Let's see what they said these open capability or overlapping capabilities were. Am I missing it? Editor's note, experts address SharePoint queries, terms relating to SharePoint strategy. Okay. Content on that page is a little bit tough to make sense of. All right, that was number 2. So number 3, preserve migrated SharePoint intranets. When migrating or upgrading to the latest version of SharePoint Online, it's not uncommon to consider a lift and shift approach to ensure all content and site structures are moved to the new platform. However, that approach can cause compatibility issues. Okay, SharePoint has had some significant changes, such as modern sites, hub sites, and introduction of Power Apps that may require legacy SharePoint sites to be restructured. Interesting. All right, number 4, put more emphasis on the UI. SharePoint does not have a good reputation. That's something that I've spent a lot of my time doing in professional services on SharePoint is custom designs, trying to make SharePoint not look like SharePoint. I think every consultant's done that. So that is step number 4 in how to set up SharePoint Online in 9 steps. Yep, fine tuning, you got SharePoint, PAL 365, and LiveTiles. You got a bunch of companies out there that help you kind of leapfrog that process. Number 5, think about SharePoint in the context of other services. All right, Office 365 collaboration capabilities go beyond what SharePoint provides. As SharePoint services are delivered to end users, administrators must also think about using the other services that play a role in supporting collaboration and communications. When SharePoint discussions don't include Teams, Planner, Office, Groups, and OneDrive, Forms, and Tasks, end users become confused about what they are not using that services along SharePoint. This is true. So this is a list catered to Office Online, Office 365 Online, SharePoint Online. Numeral 6, Office Group sites and traditional SharePoint team sites are the same. So you want a new set of tools available to enterprise users moving to 365, enabling them to collaborate and communicate efficiently without the use of multiple vendors and services. Office Groups was recently added, enabling users to have access to new SharePoint template functionality. Have any of you been using the group sites that are generated when you create new Office 365 groups? Just wonder what your impression is of those so far. I mean, I get that they're SharePoint sites, but, or at least the SharePoint side of the group that's created is. All right, number 7, define how and why SharePoint will be used. Many SharePoint projects end with being used as a digital filing cabinet. Isn't that the truth? So many of our professional services projects are exactly that, trying to help realize the potential and capabilities in SharePoint that you just, I don't know, organizations were early to adopt or were quick to adopt SharePoint, and then there was no governance in place, and you find that to be the case, digital filing cabinets. So then there are these large efforts to come and clean that up and start to organize it and provide governance and get to that place. This is number 7. It's like, that is super key. Number 8, don't let SharePoint become just an IT project. It kind of feeds right into that. Digital transformation and modern workplace adoption are not just another project. All business units need to be involved. Yep. You need full cooperation and adoption across the org. Or you need a champion department. That's a term we like to use a lot. Got to find our champion to go out and promote it from within. And then number 9 for our list of how to set up SharePoint Online in 9 steps. Invest in ongoing education. Yep, training. Got to get these people trained, capable, armed, ready to roll and use that tech. Helping them realize the features and functionality and capabilities of the system is, definitely important. All right, number 3 in the weekly roundup, adding value to SharePoint intranets. What do we got here? Where's this at? CMS Wire. CMS Wire says, adding value to SharePoint intranets. Over the last few years, Microsoft started talking about SharePoint much more in terms of intranets rather than in being, thank you for the pop-up, being a more general platform. At Ignite 2018 in September, for example, presenters used the phrase, build your modern intranet with SharePoint at several points and announced a range of valuable intranet-related features. Okay. So how do we add value? Let's take a look at this. What do we got here? We got basic, modest, typical, mature, and advanced. Can I click on that and zoom in? There we go. We got news and publishing, intranet UX, social knowledge management and collaboration, search, analytics, and governance. All right, so these are like basic usages here in adding value. And then we have modest things that can be done to add value. We got typical, mature, and advanced. So let's see, what's in our advanced column? How do we really add value? Dedicated mobile app, flexible publishing workflow. I'm assuming they're talking about flow there. Fully personalized news. Advanced language management flexible branding. Yeah, I do too. This does seem like a nice resource to put in front of clients, customers, and team members to really see that level of adoption where these pieces fall into the big picture. That's pretty awesome. I'm not going to go through it all, but that's a pretty good resource. Let's see what else they say. SharePoint intranet ambitions. The diagram also considers levels of ambition for an intranet for basic through to advanced. I'm not aiming to define some kind of maturity model for intranets, but as there's no simple answer to can I just use SharePoint, we need a yardstick for understanding the levels of complexity. Now, that's pretty cool. I agree. Basic and modest most likely apply to organizations that operate in a small number of areas and have a single focus. As we move towards the mature end of the scale, people typically want a more targeted intranet. For example, by language, role, or division. The intranet purpose also becomes more sophisticated, being a more a hub of activity than a place for news. Yep. That is true. How far can hub sites go? I love reading about hub sites. I was at SharePoint Saturday in Reston, I don't know, was it 2 or 3 weeks ago? And sat in with, what was her name? Sarah, I believe, right? Hanley? Sarah Hanley? Let me just verify that real quick. I wanted to throw her a shout out because her presentation on hub sites was incredible. And I can even link the presentation that she made available because it was something that I brought back to my team too and wanted to talk to them about. So let me see here. I'll pull that link up. There's a few links to go through here, or tweets. All right, there we go. Susan Hanley. Loved her talk. It was great. Let's see. She has a tweet, I believe, that had access to her presentation material. I can't find it. Anyways, you can talk to her on Twitter if you want to, at Susan Hanley. Follow her. I'll type her stuff in chat here so you can get involved. But she has some really good information on hub sites, and I'm excited to dig into those a little bit more deeply. All right. So that's her tag on Twitter. If you want that, it's in chat. All right, so finding the audience target. We're talking about how to add value to SharePoint intranets. Finding the audience target, and then I'm assuming we're going to be digging in here on how to do that. SharePoint intranets to build, buy, or wait. Asked this question in 2017. At the time, the trade-off focus was firmly between build versus buy. If you are about to upgrade an intranet, I would only rely on wait for things publicly on Microsoft's roadmap with a clear release date. Every org is different, but I believe good intranets have so much value to add to an organization. It's better to get a strong head start and choose a route that allows you to grow. All right. So we really like that visual, don't we there? So that's a good resource for you to have too. Again, if you don't have access to the SharePoint Weekly Roundup here, you can do that ! roundup in the chat in Twitch and get you some information on that. Let's go ahead and do number 4. Microsoft Office icons. Oh, I saw this. This is really cool. Microsoft Office apps are getting a new identity today. As part of a major overhaul of the platform, Microsoft felt the need to give Office apps a new logo to reflect the major changes that have been coming to Office. Oop, my build's going to expire. So I don't know if you've seen this before, but really cool looking stuff, I thought. I'm a design fanatic, a little bit of an enthusiast, and it's something I love to do in my free time, hence all the designs I had spent time doing for multiple customers across the Washington, D.C. area for their SharePoint intranets. And so anytime you get to talking about design in SharePoint, I'm like, woo, put me in. Design-wise, Microsoft's focused on making the logos builder, lighter, friendlier. What's builder? Brighter? Lighter, friendlier? I don't know. The redesigned icons are pretty neat too. For example, the word icon includes 2 panels, one featuring the letter W and the other featuring blocks of blue that are supposed to represent text. Yep, it sure does. The new OneDrive is just a cloud. Pretty cool. Like it. Meet the new icons for Office 365. Ooh, let's watch. All right, I'm gonna turn this desktop audio down. How am I gonna do that? I'm gonna pause the music real quick. Let's watch this video together.
Office is evolving, becoming simpler, more collaborative, more powerful. Its icons are evolving too, into a visual language that reflects the powerful simplicity and harmony of the Office apps. Unique symbols that adapt to their context across platforms, across devices. It's a new look at color. Lighter.
I like it.
More vibrant hues, but still so familiar. A connected visual system that speaks to a faster, more intelligent, frictionless experience. Designed to reflect the more connected, collaborative way we work today. It's the look of the new Office.
Tight. What do y'all think? I think they look really good. I'm really excited for the way the Microsoft's design team is going. Yeah, those look pretty solid. Turn this music back on a little bit. All right. Yeah, look at that progression. That's pretty neat. It's been a lot of years, right? You look at those years down there and you're like, man, we've been working in this space for a while, huh? That's pretty cool. Let's see what we got here. I like it on the phone too. It's not in place already, is it? No, I still got the old ones. All right, pretty cool. That was by Thurrott, if I said that right. Let's go to Windows Central and check out Office introduces new machine learning AI features and more for November. Let's check that out. Let's see, I was gonna pull up my SharePoint Saturday recap. I got to go to a good session there regarding AI. It was by Prashant, I believe. Yep. At PGB Boyer. Let me copy that. So Prashant did a good session at SharePoint Saturday that I went to on artificial intelligence and machine learning and how that looks, how to set that up, and the tools that are available in Azure for us to do those things. And I was really excited to see a lot of that. There's just so much possibility that we have to incorporate those particular tool sets into our products and things like that. Even just any solutions that you may be doing anywhere. Whether it be SharePoint or not, I think it's just such an exciting area. It may even be a little bit overhyped. I've seen a lot of that too, a lot of hate towards it recently because of the amount of attention it's getting across all markets and industries. So, it sort of is where we're going. But anyways, Office introduces new machine learning and AI features and more for November. I love these tools in PowerPoint specifically, like I use them all the time, especially that design one. Like, I don't know if you guys have done this recently, but in PowerPoint now, you can start to design your slides, and then you go over to the design tab, I believe, and then on the far right there's design ideas, and you click that, and it goes and like just generates some random custom designs against what's currently on your slide. It's just a really quick, handy way to dress your slides up really quickly. So we already have a number of handy features, blah, blah, blah. Switching them with piling on even more. In a post on the 365 blog today, Microsoft detailed some new AI and machine learning features. Let's see what's this mean. First up, an enhancement to Word that allows the app to keep track of to-dos and collaborate with others. Okay, available today in preview and set to arrive for all soon. Word will now use a bit of AI magic to recognize the do's and track them. To-dos and track them. All you have to do is write an item like to-do colon and then your to-do, or write it with a less than sign to get started. Okay. Additionally, you can mention others in a to-do, and Word will email them. Whoa, that's pretty awesome. It'll email them with a notification and a link to that spot in the document. Man, we're gonna have to play with that later. On the topic of to-do tasks, Outlook on the web is also picking up integrations with Microsoft To Do. You can create tasks directly in the task pane or simply drag and drop an email into the pane to schedule it. Nice. Tasks will then be synced to the To Do app wherever you use it. This capability will start hitting Outlook on the web in December. So we're getting there. I'm really interested in some Dynamics, Outlook, Microsoft To Do total integration. I don't know, it just seems a little bit messy for me right now, trying to keep track of all that. So I'm excited to see this start. PowerPoint getting more handy features. Let's see, what are they doing? The new editor feature uses machine learning to suggest edits to fix awkward word choices. Okay. And incorrect grammar. Meanwhile, Microsoft Forms is now integrated with PowerPoint in Office 365, which will let presenters get real-time feedback from audience members with forms and quizzes. Oh, that's pretty cool. That gives me an idea. I might be able to incorporate that into some presentations on Twitch. That could be pretty neat. So those are the major bits hitting the Office apps now or in the future. Okay. That's pretty tight. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What are we on? 6? Number 6. Microsoft details the causes of its recent multi-factor authentication. Yeah, that's been a big deal, isn't it? I don't know if you guys have seen this, but the MFA service from Microsoft has been crashing. So let's see, what was the root cause? I'm interested. For 14 hours on November 19th, because the Office 365 and Dynamics users authenticate via this service, they were also affected.
Hey, portal answer.
Oh, hey,
The first root cause showed up as a latency issue in the MFA front-end's communication. Okay. Second was a race condition in processing responses. These two causes were introduced in a code update rollout, which began in some data centers. Yeah. Third identified root cause, which was triggered by the second, resulted in the MFA back-end being unable to process. Okay, they got their next steps going, including a review of its update deployment procedures. Yep. Yeah, don't you know it? Don't you know that was a stressful time for someone somewhere? Microsoft officials apologized to affected customers, but made no mention of any planned financial compensation. So you will not be getting any sort of a prorated refund on your service. At least, it's not advertised. All right. So I assume we're back up online with MFA, though, right? On Azure. Was anybody in chat affected by that? Curious. I had MFA enabled on one of my tenants, and I ended up turning that off because of the problems I was getting with Flow. And that's probably a solved issue. I just didn't dig into it enough. But Flow, if you use an Office 365 account to run the flow as that account, and it has MFA enabled. I was having issues where the MFA cache or lifetime length of that particular login session was canceling, and then the flows would all fail because the credentials were looking for the MFA token again. So I think there's a fix for that. I just didn't dig into it, and that was my experience with it so far. Let's see, Cloud's Limited at AWS Annual Conference. I did watch a little bit of the Twitch live stream for AWS conference. Let's see what we got in here. Where's this from? GCN? Cloud's the limit. Let's see. Company said on its blog that the authority to operate on AWS program includes training tools, pre-built cloud formation templates, and control implementation details. Yeah. All right. Satellite management. What's that? AWS Ground Station Service allows satellite operators to cut their communication costs by paying only for satellite communications their organizations need. It's as a service. Eliminates the need for universities and government agencies to lease ground antennas. Interesting. Might be useful for you, but not so much me right now. Machine learning. They announced new features for SageMaker. It's a fully managed service that helps developers build, train, and deploy machine learning models. SageMaker Ground Truth addresses the time-consuming and expensive challenge of labeling thousands of examples required to train machine learning models. Huh. Nice. SageMaker. All right. AWS RoboMaker uses cloud services to help developers to develop, test, and deploy robotics applications. That's pretty neat. I have no idea what that means, but I have yet to have a chance to dig into that. Smart Cities. Arizona State University announced an initiative that focused on building smarter communities in the Phoenix metropolitan area by using cloud computing. The ASU Smart City Cloud Innovation Center aims to improve digital experiences for smart city designers. Yeah. Okay. A couple of cool things coming out of AWS conference there. Let's see. Let's go down here. Amazon targets hybrid cloud customers with on-site servers. Bloomberg's got a slow loading site here. Wonder if they're getting spammed like we do with people that want to help them fix their website. Let's see. It's going to let customers put servers used in the company's cloud computing data centers into their own facilities. It's an effort to reach businesses that want to store some of their technology functions in the cloud while keeping tighter control of others. Okay. Like a hybrid scenario here, right? Amazon's announcement represents a continued shift for the Seattle-based company, which once preached the mantra of moving everything to the cloud, public cloud, and a boon to VMware, majority owned by Dell, which is looking for ways to keep growing. The reInvent conference to highlight new tools and features. Yep. $71 billion in 2022 they're going to reach AWS. Give them a valuation of almost $350 billion. Wow. All right. Let's check out this last top news story here. Microsoft unveils release candidate 1 for Azure DevOps Server 2019. We use Azure DevOps hosted version, online version. I know we were using it at a couple of customer sites, government groups, on-prem though. So they've got RC1 out for that. Nice. What else we got in the blogosphere here? What's new in SharePoint 2019? You got a cheat sheet. This could be helpful for, this is from ShareGate. We got a little bit of, let's see, new and improved features in 2019. Here it is. Here's your cheat sheet. Communication sites, new, 2019. Modern team sites. Redesigned homepage keeps most relevant team news front and center. Modern lists and libraries, a modern search experience. Got some modern site pages and web parts. You can use the SharePoint framework in 2019. If you're not familiar, that's a framework for you to develop against SharePoint. Although similar to the classic experience, users of SharePoint 2013 and 16, modern pages are less structured and easier to create, which should be good for adoption. I find that it is. Everybody seems to love it so far. Modern lists and libraries. This has been taking me some getting used to, but I do like it. I love good design, and I feel like it's pretty intuitive, like it says here, intuitive UI. Okay, creating a new file from a classic document library. That's classic. Yep, and then this is the new file. Less restrictions for files and folders. File and folder names now support all special characters. Hallelujah. The file path length limit has been increased to 400 characters. Now supports £sign and percentage. SharePoint document libraries now support files up to 15 gigs. Hoorah. Which is on par, finally, with SharePoint Online and OneDrive. Hybrid first features. Setting up and managing hybrid environment has never been easier thanks to the new tools like the hybrid configuration wizard and the extensible hybrid app launcher. Support for hybrid taxonomies and hybrid content types lets admins create shared sets of managed metadata that automatically sync. That's pretty useful. And then the new OneDrive sync client, which replaced the deprecated Groove sync client. Gives users on-demand access to files stored locally or in the cloud, no downloading required. And it enables push notifications. That's pretty nice. Then we have some deprecated and removed features in SharePoint 2019. Deprecated in 2019, the aggregated newsfeed. Newsfeed.aspx is now in read-only mode. Performance point services depend on Microsoft Silverlight, which is on its last legs. 2021, no more. InfoPath services. Oh man, that's a big one, huh? So I attended on that SharePoint Saturday. What was it? Microsoft. Oh, it was a Power Apps presentation, and we were making comparisons to InfoPath and Power Apps. And I don't know if you guys have used Power Apps much, but it's very close to being able to do the things you were doing in InfoPath. Just missing some of the really advanced things that you would do in InfoPath, which we probably have all spent a lot of time doing. Things like showing and hiding fields based on other values. I haven't figured out how to do yet in Power Apps. But, so anyways, InfoPath services and SharePoint Designer are on their way out. Support ends in 2026. That's still quite a ways off, but there's a date. Yep, there it is. Includes Power Apps as an alternative. And Microsoft Flow for our IFTTT style stuff. Both are included in SharePoint 2019 through the on-prem data gateway. All right. Removed in 2019, what did we do? After being removed from the SharePoint Online and deprecated in the previous two on-premise releases, code-based sandbox tools are now officially part of the past. Microsoft suggests using SharePoint add-ins, which you can read more about here. Should I upgrade? The modern experience is here to stay. 2019 comes with nearly all of the modern functionalities available in online, so we definitely recommend upgrading. Yep. Heck yeah, newest stuff. I want it. Let's see, new and improved, deprecated and removed features in SharePoint Server 2019, the cheat sheet. Now here we go. This is where you go right-click, save as, and send it in the email. Hybrid content types and taxonomies. Yep, we got a list of all kinds of things, new stuff. We got our deprecated stuff. This is a nice cheat sheet. Removed. Click here to tweet the cheat sheet. All right. That's a pretty handy link there. How's everybody doing in chat? Anybody awake still? I know I've just been kind of reading blogs and informing ourselves on what's going on out there. What do y'all think so far? Alive, that's good. Let's just touch on this stuff briefly here, and we're gonna shut this day down and just kind of hang out for a minute for any questions that anybody might have. There's 7 ways to search for content in the SharePoint and Office 365, SharePoint Maven. What users want from SharePoint news articles, restore deleted SharePoint documents already restored by OneDrive, testing the SharePoint framework projects efficiently with minimal distractions with Wallaby.js. That's Andrew Connell post there. SharePoint code security audit using NPM audit. I can do some SharePoint team sites and Microsoft Teams working together. Yeah, there is definitely some great info in here. I'm always blown away at the ability of our team to put this thing together. It's a strong resource. What's new for SharePoint and Office 365 after Ignite? And then how to find which site designs have been applied on SharePoint sites. SharePoint document management in 6 steps. SharePoint as a corporate data warehouse and collaboration without burnout. That's interesting. Harvard Business Review. Burnout? How do you stop that? Close. Two types of overload. Let's see. What are they? Did they summarize them up here? There we go. Let's see what these quotes say. So many different people can get you through different channels, and the pressure is enormous. Constant email, international travel, calls at all hours. I was exhausted. The collaborative demands eventually wore me down. I always felt I had to do more, go further, save the day. I would become people's life raft and then almost drown. Yikes. Am I dropping frames? Is that what you're saying? I don't see a drop in my frame rate. Those are the voices of collaborative overload. Let's see, what else do I got? 2 types of overload. Why we take on too much. Eliminating the unnecessary. It's probably a good article for most people to read. All right, let's see what kind of events we got going up, and then we'll call it. So in December 1, in Gurguan, is that how you say that? SharePoint Saturday going on. December 1st in Vienna, you got SharePoint Saturday. December 3rd and 7th in Chicago, you got SharePoint Fest. December 6th in Geneva, SharePoint Saturday. Got a bunch of SharePoint Saturdays here. We got one in Detroit, Coimbatore, Virginia Beach, San Diego, St. Louis, North Germany in Bremen, Salt Lake City, and then we got it. Come see us at SP TechCon in Austin on February 10th through the 13th. We'll be there. We'll have a booth. Come see us, get some swag. We'd love to see you. I think we're going to try to live stream our booth too, so if you end up showing up at the booth, wave at the camera and say hey to Kev. I'll be there. March 14th, 15th. I'll be there online. Sorry, I won't be at SP TechCon, but Rob and Marco from our team are going to be there, and so go shake their hand, wave at the camera, and say hi, Kev, through the camera. March 14th, 15th, Branson, North American Collaboration Summit. So we got links here. You guys can check that out. Go see what's going on behind the scenes on those. See what these SharePoint Saturdays have in store for their agendas and their sessions, and get registered, man. I went last, like I said, the last SharePoint Saturday in Reston, and every time I go, I come out of there with great information, with good hands to shake, and it's just good. It's good to feel that community. So I would definitely check that out. So again, if you're not already registered for the SharePoint newsletter and you'd like to be, in the Twitch chat, just type !roundup, and you'll get some information on that. Get you signed up. This thing will come into your inbox every Friday morning. If you have any questions about anything we talked about today, even though it doesn't specifically talk to me or Bamboo Solutions where I work, I'll talk with you. We can chat about anything, so hit me up. You can also reach me on Twitter at KKREATV, at KCreative. And then you can reach out to Bamboo directly at Bamboo Solutions on Twitter and Twitch. Same for my details as well. If you need to contact us through email, sales@bamboosolutions.com. Well, thanks for sitting through it with me today, and again, good to see you. We'll catch you next Friday. Real quick before I go, though, I did want to mention Monday we start our open chat. Every day, 11 a.m. We'll be online here at Twitch. You guys can come ask questions, get support on things. Yeah, it's really just a time for me to sit down and talk to you guys. And then every Wednesday, we're going to be doing product walkthroughs. We're going to take a look at what Bamboo Solutions offers to the SharePoint world and your implementations. And then every Friday morning or Friday at noon, we're going to do this, the weekly roundup. So hit me up. Glad to see everybody here. Thank y'all for joining. We'll see you on Monday at 11 if you're interested.